I got it. We had a little power outage here, and I forgot that every time that happens, for some reason, I have to switch it back to 48, the phantom power for the mic. So, man, I've run into this a couple times now. Gotta love the experience starting to kick in. I'm just like, for a second, I had the deer in the headlights. What be going on here? What be going on? Oh, I remember now. It's nice when we get proficient enough that when we fuck up, at least we know like where we're fucking going wrong. I like that feeling. It's become better. Man, I hope you guys are doing really well. I'm going to try to move over here a little bit for y'all. And we're cooking tonight. It's Friday. I'm excited. It's not Freeware Friday today. As typically it is Freeware Friday. Got a new mic arm, so it's no longer shit in the whole fucking frame. Right here, this giant, crusty $14 Amazon Spatial. Terrible mic stand. The worst piece of shit ever. I want to have an office space moment with it where where they take the fax machine or the copier out back and they just fucking boom, boom, and the guy literally throws away his bat and starts punching the plastic because he hates the thing so much. This is how much I hate that fucking mic stand. I hate it so much. I'm here though. Wow, we lost people quick there. What happened? Oops. Is something happened with the stream? Are we good? Is everything okay? All right. I'm not a professional streamer by any means just yet. Not just yet. I don't know if I want to be a professional. All right. I'm for the first time ever using this Ibanez Destroyer for something other than Doom. I acquired this guitar and I immediately put Railhammer Nuevo 90s into it, and that's like basically a pickup I was using just for Doom. This was a Doom machine, and I'm like, fuck, I really want to use this for more than that. So I figured out a nice pickup combination. We're gonna try it out for the very first time today, here, right now. Yep, it's gonna be fun. I hope. We'll see if some people show up, but we'll see if they don't. And by the way, my name is Tyler. Welcome to the Amp Sim universe. This is High Gain Haven, one of our feature programs here where we talk about all things from all things high gain, old, new, all types of different things. And new in this case, guys, we have the Fortin Nameless X, one of my favorite plugins of all time. In fact, my favorite plugin of all time for high gain. My favorite plugin all time for high gain, and I love this plugin, guys. I fucking love it. I'm gonna try to move over, but I'm trying not to. Oh, this. Gosh, my back is tight. Tight like a tiger. Ah, man, I'm in a great mood. I had a pretty easy going day today, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what we got for tone for start. Let's bring that back a little bit. A little bit too much of level there. I was clipping. So I did a couple pickup swaps today just for fun. As mentioned, I was gonna do the Bill Lawrence USA L500 XL and a PAF Pro 36th anniversary with DiMarzio. And man, it actually took a lot to wire this up because the lead from this one is kind of short, and I had to do some questionable things in there. That it all works. It all works. So we're just gonna say that, like, I would feel bad, like if someone was paying me to do it. That's all. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm just chilling out with this guitar today and trying to get some things dialed in. This is a very bright guitar. I'm gonna be messing with the levels a little bit in the stream. Sounds good, but I think I'm off on the heights somewhere in here. Brain Dead. Brain Dead. Did you look up that song yet? And was it as fun for you as it always is for me? You might be asking yourself, what the fuck is different with this new hold on, let's get some level here. All right, I'll have to get right in here now. All right, so basically, they redone it, and they've been doing the X versions for a while. The UI is cool. They added the little, the little not biohazard, the little radioactive symbol here. That's pretty neat. And then if you go right clickety McClick, I saw this thing. I saw a clip, like a picture of it, and bring that down again. I saw a cool picture of it, and I was like, it's black now. What? And then I opened the plugin. I was like, wait a minute, what? I can't find it. So right click, skins blackout. Ooh, yeah, yes. Let's do this on the full screen. You don't want my look. That. Oh yeah. Wait, am I pointing this way? That. Very exciting, guys. Wow, this looks good. I'm not sure where I'm missing on the height. I just know I'm missing a little bit, but I'm going to bring some of the mids down. Yeah, this looks so sick. I fucking love Morbid Angel, dude. Holy fuck, do I ever love it. It's been a shitty week for you. You know what? I feel you. And anytime you guys have had a shitty week, you want to come here on a Friday and be like, man, I need some chugs. I need to talk plugins. I need to sit with some dudes and talk about fucking random shit. And yeah, that's you've picked the right place today. That's for sure. Oh yeah, I'm loving Conan here. By the way, this guitar is named Conan because it is a destroyer. That's pretty much it, and it's made to just crush things. As for what model destroyer is the DTT 700. I went and looked this up not that long ago, and it seems like they're actually kind of like starting to go up in value, and that's not so bad. I'm not getting rid of it though. Not gonna happen. I like it too much. What do we got over here? Oh, let's try some of that step. Oh. Because I can't play it up speed. I'm just getting warmed up, folks. That was terrible. I gotta get warmed up. Oh, yeah. I don't care if I clip that shit. I have actually a vocal scenario coming along here. A company that I've been speaking with at United Plugins, actually. I'm going to be testing out some of their guitar and bass software. Check out United Plugins. They've just got they just put a new bass plugin that seems pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to demoing that for y'all at some point in the next little while. It should be interesting. This new mic arm is taking some getting used to, but it enables me to kind of lean in like this and have a bit more. I can kind of lean back, and I'm not anywhere near the wall here, which is great. Everything looks good. So oh yeah. And I am using I often forget to talk about it, but even though the logo is constantly there for y'all. Yeah. Sit Strings. Thanks so much to Sit Strings. As always, I use a set of their 58 to 13 stock set. They used to make me a fun, by the way, off topic here. If you haven't seen the Beavis and Butthead episode where they do this song, You got to go just because of this part always makes me think about it. Anyways, it's strings. 58 to 13. They used to make me a custom set for Doom because I like cheese grater tightness with when I was playing like Doomier stuff. It just sounded, it was the sound I wanted at the time, but I kind of wanted it a little bit more slack. Plus, I wanted to be able to promote an actual set, like a factory made set, as opposed to them sending me these like altered sets. So I used their 50. I used their 44. Yeah, 44s. It actually for chicken picking and for my Telecasters, their 44s 44 to 9s are amazing. They are the perfect. 46 is a bit too. Honestly, it sounds silly, but for chicken picking, 46 is a bit beefy. And 42 is just I can't. It feels like you're playing on like doll hair, you know, or something. Like, not that you'd know what that feels like, but like 42s are just too light. And then the 44s were just right there. I don't think I can, you know what I mean? I can't use anything with like an 8. That's just too crazy for me. It's too like, you know, you can bend it all the way over the fretboard. It's dumb. I don't like it. And anyhow, it sounds good when you got it like really like squash though for like compression. And then I also use a couple of other sets from Sit. I use a 44. My bad. A 54 to 12. And then I also use a 50 to 13. A 50 to 11. And that's what I typically use in E flat is 50 to 11. So if you guys ever want to talk strings as well as pickups and everything else in our streams, please do that. We're all in. We're definitely all in. I'm always stoked to talk about that. And you know, it's not an ad or anything like that because you know it's just they've always just helped me out. They've always just really liked what we're doing here, and they agree that in testing or using any like amp sim, I mean it doesn't even matter, analog or digital, doesn't matter. You need to have nice strings to get good tone, and that's part of your DI signal. Just remember that amp sims are designed to, you want to be feeding amp sims the best possible DI signal that you can. Nice pickups, a well set up guitar, string tension is good, your neck tension is right, and you have a good cable, and your picking is fine, and everything. All this goes into a good DI signal. If you don't have a good DI signal, it does not matter what plugins you're buying because they're all you're going to be underperforming all over the place. If you have, for example, really cheap pickups and you're expecting to get the tones that you hear on YouTube, it's not going to happen that way. It doesn't. That's not how those pickups are made. They're not designed to perform that way. You're gonna be. It's just a nightmare, in fact. So get some decent pickups. That's a good step, and good strings, good quality strings. I'm not saying like everyone. I'm on a budget. Yeah, I'm on a budget too. Not everybody can get free strings, buddy. Yeah, I get a very limited amount. All right, I get it. My point is, you want to find something out there that lasts, and Sit strings they last. They last longer than D'Addario's for me. They last longer than, oh my gosh, way longer than everything else. Way longer than Slinkies and everything else that I've tried. These things last a really long time. And so try a set next time you're at the guitar store and then get back to me. What do you think? Am I full of shit? That's your challenge today. Go out next time you're at the guitar store, if you're on juststrings.com, wherever you're at. Try a set of Sit strings. Stay in tune, Sit. And if you don't like them, I'm like, let me know. They tell me I'm full of shit. I'll prove it. I'm not gonna say your money back though. I can't do that. But I had to do a little thing for them because, man, like I don't talk about them enough. The logo is not enough. So thank you so much to Sit. That sounds really great. What's going on, Bo? How is everybody? What do you think about the DI match from... Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go! Is there anybody else that wants to handle that? Hey, where's Thomas? Thomas, you've Thomas, I think Thomas, part of our staff here, lovely Czech gentleman. Yeah, he is probably the most experienced with the JST Dominator. What is it called again? Annihilator, Dominator, Destroyer. What's it called again? The Dino Cazares plugin. I have very limited experience with the rig profiler thingy there. So what's going on, Pip? By the way, I forgot to greet everybody. Bo, how are you? Fuck yeah. I'm like, there's a lot of folks from the staff in here. We got 8 people in here and I love it. Brain Dead, how are you? Eddie, big hugs. Birthday week for Eddie, where this is our celebratory Friday. We can actually celebrate. I dropped in a little while, earlier this week to say happy birthday to Eduardo. But today's a good celebratory day for him as well because he can actually chill. So wish Eddie a happy birthday if you haven't already. Thomas, how are you? Pip, how are you? And I'm not sure. I'm not going to say too much about that. I honestly can't because that particular plugin, I don't have a lot. I didn't get a lot of experience with it. I tried it very briefly and did not like the plugin. I'll leave it there for now. Pardon me. However, you guys are going to be expecting some pre-recorded stuff to be coming on here pretty quick. We're going to be uploading some stuff, I'm hoping this weekend. And one of those is going to be a review for the JST Toneforge Misha Mansour. It's going to be great. We're going to go with an extinct plugin just for fun. Yeah, that should be interesting. Chilling after a busy morning. Happy birthday, Eddie. So anyways, if there's someone on the staff that can answer the fella, I think it was Brain Dead that asked, No, I didn't actually try that the rig capturing feature. I didn't try that feature on it, so I can't really say. That's why I'm asking to see if one of the other fellas hit that feature. I really didn't like the plugin particularly that much. There's actually not a lot from JST guitar plugin wise that I've really enjoyed. However, that being said, his bus glue, his creative plugins, his processing plugins, that new heat plugin and the multiband saturator, his bass forge plugins, some of his other kind of shortcutty kind of plugins, but they're good shortcuts for the people that need shortcuts. And let's be honest, we can all use a shortcut now and again if it's an effective one and it's not somehow subduing your mix in some other way. Joey Sturgis and JST are pretty good and pretty great actually at creating those types of plugins. I'll call them creative or processing or mixing plugins that are quite universal in what you can use them for across different genres and everything else. I would choose to support those over the actual amp sims. I liked the Guilty Pleasure back in the day. I actually didn't hate that one. I for whatever reason, I always thought the Guilty Pleasure was like my guilty pleasure. It's a solid plugin. I don't mind that one. None of them were particularly terrible, but I mean, as soon as the market got to that Neural DSP STL tones, kind of like the market went up, that sort of line stayed around here, and it doesn't keep up. The Toneforge line, in my opinion, just my one opinion, and kind of the opinion of the team here as well, is like they don't hold up quite as well. Okay, so the DI match. So yeah, again, so I'm glad that these guys were able to help that out because it is what it is. A separate DI. They did. The DI match plugin came out separately. Oh, neat. There's actually not a huge reaction. If I accidentally bumped the stand, it wasn't the end of the world like the other one. So that's cool. And we've got a few other plugins. Actually, today I'm going to go through the lineup we've got planned today. I have the sword in the lineup that I might use with Fortin Nameless Suite, as I did a lot of testing with that plugin initially. I went out and purchased today. It's the Neural DSP anniversary sale. I had a voucher, and I went and used it. And they have like a crazy deals right now. So go over and check out the Aurora DSP. It's on for like another 10 hours. So I finally went and I grabbed the from promotional purposes. I think it's really great for the channel to have this plugin, and having it for the Mesa Boogie Mark II C+. It's rad. It's a great plugin. I have not really, I did my 14-day free trial like everyone else, and I used the shit out of this plugin. And I did a lot of fun things with the plugin. They're so versatile. It's such a versatile amp, and it's got so much history behind it. We might be getting to it today, although I kind of just wanted to get a little bit more experience and kind of get back in the saddle with the plugin before I kind of get going. But we might be able to try out just check out some of the presets and do a kind of a through there. Second half, I'm going to take out a different guitar. I'm going to be using my Ryan Bruce, my Fish, sorry, going to go active for the second half, essentially. Fishman Fluence Modern Ryan Bruce, and check that out. I've got to get the heights right again on that, because I took it out and did a bunch of other swapping, so that'll be second half. So far today, having a pretty good day, checking out the Fortin Nameless Suite X, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute. In the second half, I've also got the brand new-ish, I guess it's been out for almost a month now. It's the Aurora DSP Cerbes plugin. It's based on the KSR series, and that is a very, very interesting preamp. And there's some fun things that Thomas has brought to light recently of things you can do with this. There is no power included. Essentially, it's a preamp. It's a solid state power that goes into the cab. And when I say solid state, when you see solid state in the form of a plugin, there's just no power section. That's just not, there's just nothing there. It just goes preamp to cabinet. Like, you're just imagining something, a component that in analog world would have to be there, but in the plugin world does not have to exist. If it's a solid state power amp, it actually does not have to exist. You don't have to model that. So just explaining how that kind of works for some of us that maybe don't know. And then I've also got Rhino down the pipe a little bit later on as well. Hopefully we'll get to that, because it's been really crushing for me lately. However, we're going to go back to this one right here. And I am going to bring this down just a tiny bit. This is Glyph, and if you haven't heard Glyph, man, you got to go check them out. Very, very cool band. So anyways, let's go to the chat here. I gotta see if I can catch up here. Caleb, how are you, my friend? Pedro, sorry I didn't greet you earlier. Fuck yeah, dude. The Fortin Cali Suite is so good. I'm looking forward to Cali X, because that'll be probably one of the next ones they hit up. And I really like that they didn't just X this one and just like gave it like, I love this dark UI here. This is really cool. Not that I don't love the OG here. This looks smoking. They spice this up too. We can leave it there. Doesn't really matter. You go, it's same pedals. The grind has a different knob on it, I think, though, if I'm not mistaken. There's a different fucking knob. It's one fucking knob. One knob on that grind pedal there, and we're going to get into that. It's funny because I don't like the grind as much as I like the 33. And I'm really curious as to the specific differences between the two, because it's funny because they're both by Fortin. They're both one knob boosts. One of them is just a tweaked version of the other, so to speak, as it's been said. And yet I really do prefer the 33 over the grind. I don't know what else to tell you on that one. Not really sure. All right, let's see what we got here. No. That's Johnny Nopesky for me on that one for now. I just not saying it's bad. It's like, and I've said this, anybody who's been watching my streams long enough will have maybe remembered that this is kind of always how I felt about the analog pedal. I bought the analog pedal. I was very, very excited to buy the analog pedal itself. And then after trying it, I realized in its analog form, it is also not just quite for me. And that's the same with any one knob boost. Any one knob boost is going to either be your thing or it's not going to be your thing. There's no real gray area with that, because they do one specific thing, and doing one specific thing isn't always going to be everyone's specific thing, if that makes any sense. I also got a rug in this room, and I'm noticing that it has dampened the sound from bouncing around all around here. So being able to hear the echo in the room every time I talk was really annoying. And I've noticed that it's caught some of the stuff bouncing around off the floor, which is great. Fantastical. Interesting. I had heard something about that. But I mean, you never know. It's speculation here and there on a lot of different things, but that's pretty cool. I'm glad that I know that now. Thanks so much, Pip. How's everybody fucking doing? I hope you guys worked hard this week. I hope you guys are, I hope you guys are just really enjoying, you're really leaning into your Friday like I'm about to. I think that being a bit aggressive here, move that back just a tiny bit. That sounds pretty good. Let's get another, oh, wait a minute. That's actually, oh, it's on in this preset. Cool. I actually don't want as much of that anyway. Let's go with a 421. I'm going to pull it over here a little bit, and then I am going to bring that back, bring this up. Ooh, that's too loud. Sorry, guys. Sounds pretty good. All right. I have to try something here. Make sure that I've got the heights right here, guys. This is gonna be tough to get right. That's not bad. Okay, that's not bad. We're good now. Perfect. Now I can bring up that low end again. Just a tiny bit. That sounds great now. Hold on. Here we go. Hanging out, grilling with friends tomorrow. That sounds like a lot of fun. Braindead, where are you at in the world again? That's okay. I'm actually I'm in love with this guitar. Let's see what these. All right, perfect. And they added, of course, they needed to add the post effects section as well. But I don't think this existed. Did they? When did they add this? Is this brand new? Or why do I feel like maybe this was the last update? I actually can't remember. These things happen. It happens when you get old, guys. Man, that's great sounding pickup as well. That's out of tune now. Yeah. Anyhow, it's Friday it's almost Friday night. We're going to be looking at, I think, our first thunderstorm of the year here in my part of the world, which is always really nice to have. I really enjoy a good thunderstorm. Really enjoy. How about you guys? I don't know, but let's stretch it out, guys. If I'm slouching, yell at me. And oftentimes my cable gets stuck and it turns me into this guy. Wow. Let's turn this up. Okay, you're right. That's a little bit better now. Nice. Very, very nice. I don't like the ping pong though. That should be just like, leave that on later. Like, I'll turn that on if I want to, you know? This is really nice. And typically you guys know, I mean, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't typically get down with post effect sections apart from like demo purposes and standalone purposes. I mean, if you're trying to record properly, you are not going to use an EQ after your delay and your reverb, and you're probably going to want to use more than, no, actually there's a high pass and low pass on here now, which is great. So yeah, you're pretty much good. Now you can take this now. Oh, perfect. You don't even need this anymore. So yeah, now the post effect section does have a lot of worth because you can just dial this up to where you would normally want it. Now for a lead, I'm going to start somewhere around 150. Again, I'm not a professional audio engineer. You can come at me all you want with the pro audio stuff and I don't fucking care because that's not my job in life. So I'm not trying to prove anything to that effect. There's someone smarter than me out there doing all this stuff. Feel free to watch them as well. All right, so I'm going to roll that off a little bit. Now I'm going to try this out. Gonna turn that back on. Yeah, that's gonna be a full signal now. I can do whatever I want with that, and all I'm gonna need is maybe my own limiter if I want to. Nice. And so yeah, I like all of the additions I'm seeing right now. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Oh, I can just turn that off. Boop. I'm just going to turn the whole thing off for now. Oh yeah, buddy. Braindead just said the right thing. Pip just he's going to shit himself. He asked for what? It's like when a non-amp sim user, like just a friend of mine, just like, hey man, do you know anything about like amp software? Because none of my friends know anything about what I do. Like some of my music friends do, but most of them don't even really know that. And someone asked me, do you know anything about like amp software? I'd be like, well, you came to the right place. Let me tell you, let's have a sit down. How many hours do you have here, son? I love having that moment. It doesn't happen to me often. It happens to me with disc golf all the time, but even that's a different scenario altogether. That sounds really good. Now, the doubler is definitely a effect I would only use for I would not use the doubler just for anything except for standalone purposes. So we're going to try the doubler for fun though. I hate it. I hate doublers. Sorry, guys. You're not going to ever hear me use doublers really around here. I really don't like the sound of them, especially in headphones. Oh, God. In monitors, maybe it sounds kind of fun when you're just kind of messing around with a standalone, maybe. But in headphones, man, I cannot stand the sound of a doubler. Not saying that this is a bad doubler by any means, because it's fine. It's great. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. But in headphones, maybe I can, hold on. Let's bring it back way down. See if I can enjoy it more. Nope. Can't do it. In my headphones, it is not doable for me. Do you guys agree? Have you guys tried a doubler effect in headphones? Do you hate it or do you enjoy it? I just love it right up the middle. It's just fine for me. I can't do pinch harmonics. Man, will do. Thanks again. Everybody on our staff is like is a ninja in one particular field, at least, or multiple. In my personal case, I am sort of a jack of all trades and master of none. I'm sort of just like that guy that floats in the middle, and I just like, I know few things. The guys here, like Pip, for example, I mean, him and Eddie talking neural amp modeler stuff, man, like, you guys have any questions whatsoever, come at these two dudes with your questions. Get them out there. If you have questions about Tone Hunt or anything, Nam Universal, we're being kind of tight-lipped on right now. And it'll be probably about another month or so before the plugin comes out. I'm hoping to have a working beta for you guys on a Freeware Friday coming up soon in the next few weeks, but we'll see how that goes. No need to rush anything in this day and age. But man, it's really, going back to, I really appreciate having all the different people we have here on the staff that, you know, because when we kind of come together, we're kind of like Voltron. You know what I mean? I'm just listening to one of my old riffs in the background here, and I actually can't remember how to play the riff. No idea. You guys ever do that where like you're listening to like an old recording of yours and you're like, yep, no idea how to play that riff anymore? Or even in my case, man, it's even worse. Sometimes I'll listen to a really, really old video of like one of my old bands playing live, and there'll be songs that like, they literally take a good while to come back, and you're like, there's certain songs I don't even remember playing from back when I was in my like late teens, early 20s. There are songs we had that I watched an old VHS tape once in a while and go, I have fucking no idea what that song is. This is fun. I mean, I see myself drumming, but yeah, I have no idea. Steve Noel. Hell yeah, dude. Steve Noel, how are you? Since the last time I dropped in, y'all put a lot of content. I can watch. Man, I can't. Man, I cannot. Oh man, that's great news, Steve. I'm glad you guys are giving her. I'm glad you're gonna have a good, man. I love when meeting people that are on the start of their amp sim journey, or like a start of some kind of like, you know, we're not going to call it a journey experience. It's fine too. that was actually going to be one of the, that was on the short list of titles for this channel, was the AMSIM experience. But Universe sounded better. I don't know. What are you gonna do? I love that when people are just getting into things. Just whatever you do, the one thing I can say is never, ever, ever never hitch yourself to one developer and only one developer. I saw it today. I'm there on the Aurora page. There's some guy like, you know, like Glenn Fricker's talking about like, this is good. It's just as good as Neural DSP. And there's like someone that's got to be like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Neural DSP is my go-to, so it's pretty real deal. Like, yeah, it is the fucking real deal, but that doesn't mean there's a lot has happened. A lot has happened in the last 5 or so years. A lot of companies have caught up. Okay, I have to agree that Neural DSP was the first company to really take it up beyond where, you know, companies had set the bar quite high already. They did bring it up a notch. But that being said, guys and gals and folks out there are so many developers out there now that are bringing top of the line stuff. Okay, they might be smaller companies, but that doesn't mean that the quality and the amazing new mindsets aren't there. So always make sure to keep an open mind when it comes to developers out there, as we are here. And no disrespect to Neural DSP. I want to make that very clear. No disrespect to them. But yeah, I mean, the market has caught up. They would even agree, I'm sure, that the market has caught up in the case that like they're no longer holding this huge like iron fist on the market where they're like, you know, it's not like this, you know, in fact, I don't think it's ever been like that, because when they came out, we have to remember that Nembrini Audio and STL Tones came out roughly the same ballpark time. And those two companies, all those three companies together, all put out stuff that, I mean, some might argue it's very comparable. It's very, very comparable level of quality. And since then, there are more companies out there doing some amazing things. That being said, we are currently testing an amazing product from Neural DSP. And let's be honest, this was the first product that launched them. They're not their first product, though. The Dark Glass Ultra was their first product. And then came this one. And then this, but the Nameless Suite, when that came out, I remember trying it and being like, what the fuck? What is going on right now? This is absolutely mental. This is so good. And it really is. It really is that good, folks. If you haven't tried the Nameless Suite yet, man, they just made it even cooler. So go out there and make sure you get it. And if you're already a Nameless Suite user, by the way, you get this for free. If I'm not mistaken, you get this for free. And you get to keep the old one installed as well, which is also pretty cool. It's not just going to overwrite it. So like you can kind of compare them, whether or not they like did something that you didn't like, like it happens. It happens when just like when bands remaster things or remix things, there's going to be that demographic of people out there that are like, I don't know about this. Not really is. I like the old one. I'm just going to stick with the old. That's kind of what I want to do. And that's okay. If you're that type of person out there, they got you covered. And if you're an owner of, so check them both out. And you guys get back to me. What do you guys think about it? I am on the side of Nameless X because it's fucking awesome. And it adds the fun new blackout mode, plus a couple other toys and tools that I really like. Yeah, the Emissary did for freeware purposes. Like that was definitely, I'm not going to say that Ignite Amps didn't take, because let's be honest, Ignite Amps is, the modeling behind STL Tones, right? So yeah, of course they've been doing very high level stuff. I'm just mean the suite era, we'll call it the amp suite era, where everything was together and everything is nice and there's this and everything is, you didn't have to build a signal chain. Everything was there for you. And there wasn't, if you guys be honest, prior to Neural DSP, there weren't a ton of companies doing those suites. I mean, there was, trying to think of it. That's another interesting topic. What suites existed before Neural DSP and Nembrini Audio and STL Tones all started doing the suite? I'm not going to say roughly the same time, but and some might argue that Nembrini products are not full suites because there's not a boost section. So if that's the case, we can just compare the companies out there that are doing the full, the full single chain available kind of thing. It is, Steve. It's definitely option paralysis out there these days. But I think it's finding words are difficult sometimes. Finding the stuff to stay away from is kind of like a good start. Stay away from positive grade stuff. It's garbage. It's trash. It's garbage stuff. It is the worst modeling, and I don't often get negative around here, but stay away from that crap. It's garbage. It's just gateway products, gateway stuff. You're gonna move on. You're gonna outgrow it like this quick. It's gonna be like milliseconds before you find something else that you're like blows your mind, and you just never use it again. And you just wasted $100, or you bought all the expansions thinking you were gonna get something really great. No, it's not gonna happen. Stay away from that stuff altogether. Audio Salt were they doing? It's an interesting question. It's like, I'm not really sure who brought the first suite. Maybe it was S-Gear. I mean, one could argue that S-Gear didn't have pedals until the updates and upgrades started coming later. But so it for a very long time didn't have pedals. So I mean, and then you could say something to the effect of Amplitude, but that's more of a full suite scenario, like a mega suite where you have like the giant, billion component kind of scenario. I'm just that those single rig / maybe 2 or 3 different rig kind of suites. I'm just curious as to where those started to kind of pop up. Interesting theory. Yeah, Caleb, that's going to be tomorrow. Someone is going to win the everything bundle, and we are going to be chatting with Lucas sometime tomorrow. We just have to, it's been really tough to kind of get like our schedules to kind of match up. It's really difficult matching up a bunch of schedules in like overseas because, it's especially when you're so far apart in time. So making sure that it can work for everyone, as well as like, the Aurora DSP folks, like their user groups and stuff will be able to drop in. TSC, yes. There you go. I think you might be right on that one. I actually think that the TSC X50 was might have been the first suite. Good call. We could do that for days and days and days. Pod Farm. Arguably that rolls into the full suite category though. But I guess, yeah, you're right though. Like the idea to have a large suite has kind of existed for quite some time. It will go back as far as like, maybe we'll say Amplitude could have been one of the first one. Guitar Rig, maybe one of the first ones. And then these companies just kind of brought them down to like single and dual rigs instead of, and maybe spending a lot more time on the components as opposed to giving you like that, the old school 50-50 might sound pretty good, maybe not, gives you a little bit of what's going on back in the day. The Amplitude components weren't the best, but they got you there somehow. And then, you had companies these great companies like Neural DSP and STL Tones and Meridian Audio and all these other companies that started doing these full or these 2/3 rig type deals. Then of course the signature suites started coming, and yeah, guys, I've heard about some signature stuff coming out that's going to be coming out this year, and man, there's some fun stuff coming. There's a couple of them that have given me a little grin, and I've been like, oh yeah, that's cool. They're getting a suite. oh man, that fucking rules, you know, like kind of scenario. Things that you hear kicking around. Like there are some very cool things coming out in 2024. I'm actually going to stick with this guitar for the whole stream today. I'm not going to bother with the other one. I'm just going to change up some of the plugins as we go and just kind of do that instead. I'm just enjoying this one too much. I'm really, really liking it. Heavy metal chainsaw. Yeah, there's just so many though. That's the thing. Like I said, I'm not trying to say that one company doesn't do amazing things. There's always going to be a company you like more than the rest, and that's great. We all have that company. I have. It's too hard for me to choose. I have too many of those companies that like, and they're always bumping their way up for me. But if you have one company that you love more than others, that's fine. But I'm just saying, all I've ever really said to people is never limit yourself to one developer unless they're paying you money. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would want to limit themselves to just one company unless they're like there's a lot of really great stuff happening out there if you're a collector. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. Let's go to the dark mode. I love it. I love that they did that. Right. I almost feel like for that, I'm not even going to bother with the Mark Suite tonight. I'm going to put in some good time with it, get some nice presets of my own dialed in, and then I think I'm going to do we're going to do like a thrash stream or something to kind of jazz that one in. I'm excited about it, but I don't want to like throw it in there right this. I just don't. I want to get to some more in the second half. We're going to do some more with Nameless X, and then we're also going to get into Cerbes, and we're going to get into Rhino as well. Kind of go back and forth between a couple of really rad developers that I enjoy quite some, and if you guys do as well, that's going to be my my challenge for the break. Head over to Neural DSP right now, right this second, and check out the sale, because like, man, there's a lot of stuff. Like, they have quite a bit of stuff, and they have a half off sale right now. I got the I got the Mesa plugin for a steal of a deal. I think it's at like $50 US right now for that thing. What? It's ridiculous. That's really cheap. That's insanely cheap. That's broke student cheap. You know what I mean? It's broke student cheap, and that's cheap. I've been there twice. All right. And if you already checked out everything that is going on over at the sale over at Neural DSP, I would firmly suggest that you head over and check out everything going on at Aurora DSP, because they've got some really rad stuff that if you're not familiar, you really have to check out. When I get back, we're going to go over some of the, the main differences. I'm not really noticing anything audible. I am noticing nothing but pure enjoyment, as I always enjoy in the Nameless Suite. I love the new look. The new look is fucking great. This is so great. And I remember seeing the black panel version of one of these amps on some collector forum or whatever it was that I was looking at and thinking, gosh, that'd be cool if the plugin had that. And that was years ago, and thinking, man, the plugin got that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thanks to Neural DSP for this free upgrade. If you already own the Nameless Suite, pardon me, if you already own any of their plugins, in fact, and they do an X version, as far as I know, it's free for you. If you already own it, you can just go get the X version, and then you get to keep both versions installed so that you can just kind of, if you really, there's something that is kind of audibly different or something that you're just not comfortable with the UI or something. Maybe it's just your workflow. Maybe you just don't need some of the new things, whatever it is. They have the old version still available to you, but there are definite benefits and upgrades to be seen and heard in these new options. So I also think that the upgrades can, correct me if I'm wrong, they also had something to do with the quad cortex, but Eddie is the quad cortex guy, not to me. I don't do any of the quad cortex stuff. I've never tried it. I have no information on it whatsoever. So that's what if you have any quad cortex questions, please fire them at Eddie while I'm gone here. I'm going to take a 3-minute break. 3-minute break. Then I'm going to be back with you guys for the second half of the wonderful Friday fun time, High Gain Haven that we're doing today to salute the release of the Fortin Nameless X. Just like we did with the Gojira X, I also kind of fired something out there for that as well, which was equally great. And if you weren't aware and you do own the Gojira archetype Gojira, make sure that you do your upgrade there as well for the obvious benefits. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the transpose function is there, and their transpose function is pretty cool. I mean, it's not bad. It's not, I don't really typically really enjoy. I'm not much of a guy. I'm not that guy. I'm not really a guy that really does the transpose thing because I have a bunch of different instruments that I can kind of look to for the low. Pardon me. I can do that, but some other folks, they would prefer to use the transpose. Maybe they only have one instrument. That's fine too. No judgment here. This transpose is really good. It's not to where I would say you're going to go and use it for all your bass tracks and think that it's going to take the... Don't for even 1 second believe that it's going to replace a bass in a mix. There's no transposed or octave feature or anything out there that is going to turn a guitar into a bass effectively enough to trick the listener when they're listening to it. I'm sorry, but I've never heard it because there's just so much more resonance in a bass in certain for lower, the lower register, if you will. Just my opinion, though. Don't shoot me on that one. I will be back. Give me 3 minutes. Thank you so much for being with me on this wonderful Friday. I really appreciate you. And if you do like what you're watching, like and subscribe. And tell one friend. That's it. Don't go and share it. We don't need that. But if you have one friend that you know, or maybe two, that you think would like what we're doing here, go and tell them, go get them right now. Just be like, hey, I'm hanging out. I'm checking out this streamer, whatever, YouTuber. We're just chilling out, chatting plugins. And that is more than enough of a share for us. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be right back.
Oh my God. Ah, what is it?
The bog of eternal stanks!
Shit, yeah. See, 3 minutes. Boom. Hell yeah, everybody. Nice to see everybody today. 11 people. It's nice to see 11 people in here hanging out with us, talking about some plugins. We gotta do another Doom Tomb pretty soon. And this guitar will be able to do both because it's kind of tough to find a set of pickups that'll do both stoner doom kind of stuff really effectively and high gain kind of death metal-y type stuff and modern death metal, whatever you need. But this pickup, this bridge pickup does it. The neck pickup to me doesn't matter quite as much for the modern death metal sound. Not by any means. So it's kind of like that one's more catered to the other side of it, but this thing kind of works for both. And we're just chilling out today, hanging out with the new Fortin Nameless Suite X. Fortin Nameless X. And it's fantastic. As you guys can see, it's got a fun new look to it. Pardon me. Hold on, I gotta scroll back. I missed some stuff here. Focus suites. Okay. I like that. We're gonna keep that. I wasn't aware that Pip was also a Quad Cortex Ninja, so also fire your questions at him. I mean, we can go ahead and check out the transpose. Something like that. I love that song. Right now! And I think that's what they playing, right? No, are they just B flat or are they A flat? I can't remember. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know. Transpose is cool. Let's get low, low. What's low, low, low? No, there's no need for that. There's no need for any of that. We won't be needing you, sir. Not right now. Let's just see how heavy we can make it without needing to transpose. I mean, I also think there's like this weird, like this is not high gain for right now, but oh boy, you don't want to get any bulk and ska going. I mean, there's some country. What do we got here? This is a little bit better. This is a fun song. All right, got to bring this down though. I don't want to yell over the music. It's too loud. That is low, yeah. It's the low, low. But you know what? Even if you're tuned, like there's like this myth that if you're tuned to E flat, you can't be heavy. It's ridiculous. It's stupidity, in my opinion. If you're tuned to E flat, as long as you have a bass player to handle the low octave, that's always what you need. You're gonna need a bass player. But I mean, when it comes to, I mean, E flat, you can make E heavy. Plenty of bands out there have made just straight up E tuning heavy. You know, so I mean, I think there's just this need to get the low, low, and the low. You want to get low, low, low. I mean, yeah, I mean, going low is fun, but I don't think it's always about. That's not what you need to be heavy. What you need is a really good relationship between your bass player and your guitar player, and the two riffs. Make sure they complement each other, and make sure the bass enhances the guitar riffs. It's kind of what it's there for, while also working with the drums. It's that like that. You can't have, that's just where it kind of sort of starts to lose me a little bit, is that there's that low octave is kind of missing in a way. And some might be, well, you know, if you're using subs and, you know, this, that, you know, I don't need, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Do you need a low octave to be heavy, or do you not? I mean, I'm not saying that gent isn't heavy. Shit, no, I'm not saying that. It's very heavy. I'm just saying that for me to really feel it, I need that low octave to really enhance that guitar, to really have that, like, you know, Pantera is a very good example. The way, I mean, Dime's guitar tone was not very nice on it all by itself, but when you added in Rex's bass tone, it's something very unique, and it all sounded, they played in a way that really complemented each other. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. I'm just noticing some dust I didn't get earlier. Up here. Nice. Takurwata. This song, if you've never seen this video, I'm not sure how that works. Am I allowed to watch other videos? Like, how does that work? How does fair use work? As long as it's like 7 seconds or something along that, as long as I'm talking through it. I would love to be able to watch the occasional video with you guys on here. I think I'm going to try to do that, but I'm not really sure how. I don't want to get nuked. You know what I mean? It's really, really not what I want. I don't want to get nuked. I don't like doing that. Brain dead. Yeah, you're right. It is about it's about the attitude and the riffage, and of course. But what I'm saying is, like, sonically heavy, not so much riff-oriented heavy. That is absolutely right. That can be any tuning whatsoever. I'm saying sonically to feel it in, like, you know, I feel like the heavy, I feel like it's really easy to be really heavy in like a D or a C, but B starts to get to the point where you really have to make sure that your playing is quite precise. Otherwise, it's going to sound very muddy. You really have to tighten up the tones. I think in D and C, it's easier to create those tighter tones a little bit. So that's why kind of people often will aim up. And then, of course, thing after B, it kind of just hung around B for a while. That was as heavy as a lot of bands got. But then came, you know, the 8 strings and so on and so forth, to where, you know, gent kind of dropped things down, down, down. But the thing is, to me, the bass couldn't follow along with it. And that's kind of where I just started to kind of like, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Jeff Beck's early stuff. O standard? O standard. Bo, O, O. And again, no disrespect. I think for like demo purposes, this is bugging me. For like demo purposes, I was kind of looking into getting an 8-string for the channel, and for channel purposes, though, I'm not going to go recording with it. It would be fun to have for channel purposes. It's something I don't have, and it's something that would be good for certain demographics. It'd be cool to be able to pull out an 8-string once in a while and get the low, fucking low. Because I'm on my own and I'm just demoing something, so I don't need anything in the low end to just, you know, hold me down. I would just, you know what I mean? So it's okay that way. Having some tuning issues. Getting moist in here. Moist. Precipitation coming. You know, anybody out there old enough to feel precipitation in their bones, like before it starts raining? I would imagine that like Bo probably might be close to that. I'm not really sure how old y'all are, but I mean, I'm 45 years old at this point in my, and so things start to hurt when it gets damp and moist and stuff. And the missus as well. She started just recently starting to feel a little bit of arthritis, and I'm just like, yeah, well, it's being old, right? Oh, wow, wow, wow. It sounds good. Yeah, I'm in love. I'm in love right now, man. Nameless X, you guys, and like I said, if you've been watching my streams since like the old days, the Honest Amp Sim review days, you guys will know that the Nameless Suite is my favorite amp sim, my favorite high gain amp sim of all time. Always has been. It's going to be for a while, judging by this upgrade. Not that I thought that like the other one was starting to lack, and that's like, I think there's a demographic of people I think out there that always wants every plugin to have every single new bell and whistle that is the company's ever done, and that really gets hard. Pardon me. That gets difficult for developers to keep up with. So to demand that a developer is constantly putting out new things while also constantly updating their old things with all of the new things, that starts to get to where it's going to affect the prices of all of the plugins across the board. If you're at, because that's a lot more labor, you have to hire more people, that and so on and so forth, right? So people need to, I think, keep these things in mind from time to time, and just understand that sometimes your favorite plugin might not get all the new bells and whistles, and that's okay. You might be able to do several things to kind of get around that. So it's just, food for thought. And rather than me being a dad about fucking everything, I mean, I'm just, always see it as just a suggestion, folks. But the thing is, myself, when it comes to, for example, the STL tones, tonality plugins, those plugins, they have added things over time where I feel like, some of those plugins could use that fancy new, that really, really nice new cab section. A couple of the older tonalities would probably benefit from that. So, I mean, I really do see both sides of things. And it's great when a developer has the staffing and has the success and the size to be able to do something like still keep, pumping out some great new things, pumping out great new things for us to try and for us to enjoy, while also still updating and upgrading consistently. It's nice to have that. A bit of motley crew there. The song just ended at a really weird time. Created a nice, super awkward pause there. That was cool. Dun dun. It's like somebody just started an episode of like Law and Order there at the end, and it was like just pause. And if you don't know the Law and Order dun dun, well, then I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry that you don't know that. You don't have the pleasure of the dun dun, okay? Yeah. So we're going to get away from this just for a few minutes. And we're going to tune in a few other different things. I really wanted to go over the Masabuki Mark II C Plus suite, but I think I'm just going to do that in a different stream altogether. And we're going to open my chain up here, and we're going to switch some things around. Gosh, what just happened there? Oh, I'm so sorry I did that. I dragged it. I tried to, man. I disengaged the one. I guess I double clicked it. Ouch. Sorry, guys. That was awful. It was terrible of me. All right, so Thomas has been having some fun with this plugin. Obviously, as I was mentioning earlier, there's no power section. Where I was getting to with that was that you can use something like, if you're using your own impulse responses, for example, you could use your own impulse responses, bypass their cab, and then you could toss in something like the TPA1 from Ignite Amps. It's free back in the day, pre-STL. And that thing is, it's actually, they re-released it in the Amp Hub. So that thing is out there. I think it's in. Am I mistaken? Is it there? It might be there. Anyway, so Cerbes is here. However, we're gonna check out some stuff, and I have a plugin, a preset that I really like called Beef, and I'm gonna bring down the main. Hold on, beauty. Hell yeah. Nice. And we're going to be hanging out with this one for a little bit. We're going to be giving away a license today. And it's been, we have a few more to distribute. We also have this weekend is the end. The end. I didn't mean to do this. Sorry, that wasn't any kind of shush. I meant to go like this. The end. The end of the Aurora DSP. The Aurora DSP contest we've been running. Some great stuff happened this month. We gave away a bunch of Cerbes, and everybody that we gave one to absolutely loved it. And that's a great thing. It really is. It's exactly why you do a contest. And when something comes out, you get a few out there. You might find some bugs. Who knows? You might, some rad things can happen from contests. And thank you so much to Aurora DSP for that. And so this is one of my personal presets called Beef. And if I want, I'm going to bypass this and go to my own and use the EGA for a bit. And then I'm gonna try this whole scenario here that we were talking about. So the TPA is going to go there. I am going to bring my power amp volume back a ways. Okay, my presence can go where I'm going to go like this for now. And the tube type, I can go to the back. And I'm going to go with KT88s for now, just for fun. Okay, so I've got an impulse response I'm really familiar with. A power section I've used 1.5 billion times in the past. And we've got Cerbes here, so let's see what we can get from this now. Okay, so that sounds really, really, really good so far. So let's bring that up and make sure that now I can kind of bring that up also a bit more. And that's basically, I'm not saying that it's not fine on its own. It's just if you want to add some tube flavor, some tube type voicing and flavor, you got the opportunity right here. Now there's 3 modes on this bad boy. We're going to go to the screen. Now let's open this on its own for a sec. After we get, I think we've got that portion dialed in pretty good. Okay, yeah. Let's just bring open the Cerbes plugin here. Okay, perfect. Drag that. Oh, hey, it looks wonderful. Look at that resizing. It looks resizes so well. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Now, this little toggle right here, basically, this gives you what this is essentially is rad song here in the background. What this essentially is the selector that lets you select between the different Rhodes amp models. So the different like circuits and different things that they've included can be kind of with this right here. You get 3 of the different amps from Rhodes / KSR. And that are kind of built into this. And in this particular case, I've had my luck between the middle position and the all the way down position. This is kind of a bright, and there's a bit of a like a low end kind of adjustment as well. So this is kind of my ideal settings. This is a way more of a mid-voice kind of scenario. Now, even without those, the tube, adding the tube voicing, whatever, on its own, if you just use it on its own and engage the delays and stuff, you can also get some leads that cut and sustain so magnificently well. 100%, you need to try it for both rhythm and lead. The lead channel, in my opinion, is definitely better for lead than it is for rhythm. Don't just automatically go there thinking it's going to be, okay, well, that's the most high gain. That's definitely where I'm going to go first. I would say for rhythm guitar purposes, definitely explore the rhythm channel first. The clean channel is super simple. We're not even going to bother with the clean channel right now. Let's go over, I'm going to go over some of the comments though. Hold up. Oh, standards. No problem, Bo. You're all good, dude. You got stuff. We can't. I'm really happy that everyone's glued here, though, man. Like, it's been a really good time tonight so far. We've had some good chats. We've gone through some really good tones. And hopefully I've given some people some motivation to go and chug after this, or tomorrow, or next week when you have time, whenever it happens to be. Hold on. Try to bump presence on the power amp. Okay. What is this nonsense? Don't feel like listening to that right now. Not to say it was nonsense. Let's see what we got. That sounds pretty good. I'm not saying it doesn't sound good on its own though, guys. Like, that's the other thing. It's like, yeah, it sounds superb on its own. Also, the other thing that you can do, your other option, if you want to add a tube flavor, is you can use what we call an IR that's got a baked-in tube voicing, which it means essentially there are a few ways to make IRs. You can use a transparent power section, which doesn't have any coloring whatsoever from any tubes, or you can use a tube power source, which has a kind of tube flavor that's sort of baked right in. So if it's an EL34 amp that you're using, it's going to baked right in, no matter what type of tube type it is, it's baked right in. So you can sort of trick your ears at least a little bit. It's not going to be the same response, but you can trick your ears a little bit into, if you're using a colored or baked in IR, you can use those with stuff like the SS11X or the Cerbes here, and to kind of giving that more of that tube voicing and flavor without necessarily, being too, you don't have to use another, a different plugin all entirely, right? I don't know if I want to get too crazy with the treble, man. I don't think I want to. That sounds great. That was great. And what are we gonna do tonight? Who are we gonna give this to? I think we're gonna give this to I think Braindead already won this plugin. Am I mistaken? Did you already win this plugin? Heavy Metal Chainsaw, I believe also already won this plugin. Treble down to 0? What? What do you mean down to 0? Man, that breaks my brain. Does that break your brain at all that you have to set any treble on 0? That's very strange to me. But that's cool. Disagree though. Pip, all the Bogger Digitals, a lot of the Bogger Digital stuff is still colored. The JST stuff is colored as well. Baked in colored. If I'm not mistaken. Bogger Digital stuff, at least their first 5 to 6 or 8 packs was all done with power section, 2 power sections through a lot of amps, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. But that's what Jacek or Jacek did tell me at one point, that they were baked in IRs. But there are still some out there. Plus, it's not necessarily about what's out there now. You can also get a huge selection of older IRs that still really sound rad, that do have that stuff baked in. But yeah, Pip is right though. For the most part, most of the devs are using transparent power sections at this point, and that's kind of become more of the the status quo and the industry standard sort of thing, has been using those transparent power sections and so on and so forth, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is actually a rad preset. Thomas is exactly right here. Yowza. Man, I'm having a great day today. I hope you guys are as well. And this is a great tones, great day. A nice mug full, or a nice cup full of Coca-Cola, because it is the weekend. Anyways, I'm really loving this. This is going to stay this way for a very long time. This guitar has found its ideal match. I'm going to leave it just the way it is, because I'm really enjoying it at this point. Nice. To tell us what to do. Again, I'm glad that we have people in here that know the stuff that Pip and Eddie do that maybe I don't. I love it. It's fantastic. Yeah, yeah, Pedro, thank you very much. Another thing that Pedro just mentioned, there are a significant amount of neural amp modeler power amp captures. Now, if you're wondering how to do that, here's how you do that. See where I have in the chain right here, where I have the TPA in between. I know Rhino's there, but it's obviously not engaged. We have Cerbes, TPA, impulse response loader, and then this is just my room verb at the end. So it's not a big deal. My denoiser also always just kind of on, just ignore them right now. So if I wanted, I would just take the neural amp modeler and just replace the TPA with the neural amp modeler, put it in that exact spot, and then load up a power amp capture, and then you'd be on your way to experimenting with even more sounds with Cerbes. And again, this is not at all a cut at Cerbes not having a power section. This is just showing you guys how much more fun you can have with it without really needing to spend a dime. You've got the TPA one, which is $0.00. Okay, you can go get that, no problem. And then you can also go and get the neural amp modeler for $0.00 and a bunch of captures from Tone Hunt for $0.00, and then just experiment and have a good time with it. That's why we're all here, for doing things just like that. And I think I'm going to try to get to a session just exactly like that. Maybe on Sunday we can get to something like that, because I haven't really downloaded any of the power amp captures, and I'm looking forward to giving that a shot. So if you guys are around and we do that on Sunday, that should be fun as well. Freyskin, what's going on? Scoop Lords. Love Scoop Lords. Dang. Well, if you're out there and you have not spoken, if you're lurking right now and you want to win a plugin, boy, oh boy, you have a chance right now. Preamp, yes. Preamp, power amp, then IR. You can also do some other things, like in an analog signal chain, where you can kind of that's kind of where technically between the preamp and the power amp is sort of where, again, give me some slack here. This is sort of where the effects loop would live as well. So there are ways that you can kind of do things and simulate an effects loop being there as well. I don't really bother with that sort of thing. I never even bothered using the effects loop on my amps when I had analog amps. I know, relax. I know that these days it's a bit different. A lot of people like to use the effects loop, but I really didn't myself. And if you're curious, by the way, the pedal here is the based on the Maxon 808X, which you'll also know is one of my very, very near and dear favorites. I very much love that boost pedal. And also in the stream today, I've been using my Ibanez Destroyer. It's now been freed from its Doom only existence. The only time this guitar ever got touched was for Doom and Doom only. Only Doom. And now I can use it for Doom and other stuff. I can use this guitar for pretty much whatever I want. The pickup set in here now is versatile as fuck and it can do a bunch of different stuff. I did some quick wiring today. I was gonna break out the RG that I just threw my Ryan Bruce pickup back into, but it's giving me a bit of a weird vibe right now. So I think I'm gonna have to kind of take it apart, and I have to kind of do something with it because there's something that's kind of pushing up on the pickguard a bit, and I want to make sure I can get that right before I come out here. So, yeah, guys, let's keep chugging a little bit. Yep, do love it. I don't know if I'm going to go with 0 on the treble. I think I'm going to roll it right about the line there on 2. Yep. It's nice to have some freedom now that I've gotten this new professional mic arm. You guys can really only see the mic, and the reason it's kind of got to sit like this is I can't talk into this. This is not how this microphone works. You don't really talk into the top of it. It's sort of on the side. And so it's either going to be like this or like this. So it doesn't really matter how I put it as long as it's kind of there. But with this, the cord is now out of my way. Now I can have full hands freedom. I'm not always banging on the cord when I kind of go up to the higher register here, which is very rare. So it's nice to have this. It's also completely unframed. So I can have this whole side to actually, you can see things. You can see that I have like an arm and a guitar neck now. They're actually there. It's wonderful. It's cool. Although, guys, I actually will ask for a little bit of assistance. I'm not quite sure why we can't get our stream resolution above 720. We've been looking into it, and we're going to look into it a little bit more, but we are working on that. I'm also going to see if maybe it has something to do with the stream versus just the actual content, like pre-recorded stuff. So we'll see if that maybe has something to do with it as well. Man, Zephos. Oh, man. The Destroyer for me is... I like it way better than the Explorer, man. I love it. So I just do. I like it better than the Explorer. Some people are like, yeah, you're just saying that because you can't. No, not really. I could have had an Explorer. I could have purchased one several times over by now, especially Epiphones, because let's be honest, Epiphone Explorers are still mint because the headstock doesn't change quite as drastically as the awful Epiphone Epiphone Les Paul type headstock. Those are terrible. So yes, the Flying V, the Epiphone Flying Vs and the Epiphone Explorers, those things are sexy, and I would play one in a minute. But this thing, it weighs so much. This thing is the heaviest guitar I own by a considerable margin. And yeah, you were like, well, look at the size of the big wing here. Look how thick it is as well. This thing is a big fucking boy, a big boy, and it's a lot of guitar. and I don't know if I would play it standing up. I don't know if I could because it is a lot of guitar and I'm old, so maybe that's not a good idea. But the Zephos or Zephos, I've always called it the Zephos, whatever. That thing is cool as hell and always makes me think of Necrophagus. I believe that's what he plays. And I could have had one of those at one point. It had this sweet reversed headstock, and the price went up on it really quickly, and I just wasn't, it's not that important to me. And it had that really gross, there's that one finish that a lot of Zephos came in, that greeny purple chameleon finish, and I really don't like it. It's one of very few Ibanez finishes I don't really like. Just to go over it. Love talking guitars though, so if it's not boring anybody, we can always talk guitars and pickups, especially Ibanez. I'm always in the mood to talk Ibanez. Love me some Ibanez. It was nice to have Ibanez guy himself, Alex Lee, on here. That was pretty cool. Yeah. You see, you liked it, and then a lot of people really did. And that's the thing. I think it was one of those like finishes. It was like everybody was like, yeah, or like, I don't know about that, dude. And you're probably the type of guy, if you like that finish, you would also love to drive a vehicle with that finish. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I look at it, I'm like, no, it's something about it. It's like the purple in it needed to be more purple. I don't know. Or it needed to have some purple paint mixed in with it or something. I don't know. But anyways, there was the other reason. There was one I could have gotten. It was local, and the price wasn't bad. I think it was cheap, guys. Think about this was years ago. It was probably, in American funds, we'll call it like $400, $450, and it was the neck through as well. So yeah, that was like, there are several regrets of certain guitars that I could have purchased and wish I had, and one guitar that I sold that, dude, to this day, there's one guitar that I sold years ago that irks me. It irks me to the core every time I think about it. And I wish that I could go back in time just to that moment and be like, yoink. Nope, you're not selling. No. Anyways. Man, what a great stream today so far. It's been lovely to see a lot of different people in here saying hello. Steve Knoll himself is going to win a copy of Cerbes, Aurora DSP Cerbes. Steve, you got to get at me. It's a really easy plugin to use, man. We'll walk you through it if you're not sure about it. It's from real easy, super easy to set up, super easy to use. Unless you're choosing to do some of these experimentation, it's not too bad. Get at me, the ampsimuniverse@gmail.com, and I will set you up quite quickly, as quick as I can, rather, with a license for Cerbes. And we'll get you out there and shredding and chugging on it in no time. But don't get me wrong, it's not just good for metal. This thing can do some like nice rockish type tones as well. Anyhow, Steve, will do. Much appreciated. No, you're appreciated, man. Everybody who's been coming in here has been wonderfully appreciated. And yeah, fuck, this song's hard. This song is really, 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 really hard. Oh, That's one thing the one type of, if I could, if, you know, like there was a magic genie, guitar genie out there, and they tap me on the shoulder and like, if you could be proficient, we'll make you like virtuosic, we'll make you a virtuoso in whichever style you like. It can only be one though, only one style. I would go chicken picking. Give me the skill of Brad Paisley or Johnny Highland or Brent Mason, and I'll take that. I don't know why, but when I watch those guys, even if you're not into chicken picking, guys, go and watch these guys play guitar, and the things they do, it will just baffle you. And if you go and try to learn some chicken picking, not only will it make you cat air, sorry guys, not only will it make you a better guitar player for the rest of the stuff that you're playing, you'll realize that it feels like you're standing on another fucking planet and you're very uncomfortable about it. It is the hardest, the most difficult learning curve I've ever faced in my entire life. I'm not even very good at it. I'm going to be doing some, we have something called the clean break. And we're going to be doing a clean break stream this weekend where I'm going to be busting out some Telecasters, and we're going to be going over some cleaner elements and aspects of guitar, right up to maybe like an edge of breakup, or almost like a classic, at most maybe like a classic vintage rock is the kind of stuff we'll be dealing with. If you see the clean break and you want to drop in, we would absolutely love to have you. It's going to be something new we're going to try. So because we really don't want to give people the opinion, or sorry, the idea rather, that we are nothing but all high gain and just metal around here. It's all just, oh man, every YouTuber's all just high gain and metal. Brr. No, we want to make sure that it's all over the board. A little bit of bass, a little bit of everything, but agreeable. It is going to be a lot of higher gain stuff, doom. We're going to try to spread it out as much as possible. Also, a tone talk coming up. You tell me in the comments, guys. Occasionally, I'm going to do this. If you guys like, we have a whole bunch. We have a list already this fucking long of great tone talks, which is where we try to get you the specific sound of an artist or very specific sound of a genre in the form of just plugins and plugins, IRs, pedal plugins only. So if there's a particular artist or a genre that we haven't covered, which is not, we haven't done much, pardon me, let me know in the comments right now. What do you guys think? We're also going to do condensed versions of these. After we've done a long one, I'm going to pick out the best parts and then do a whole new one, not even editing. We're going to do a whole new one that's going to be roughly 10 or 20 minutes rather than 2 hours after we've established the signal chain in our live stream. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If there's an artist out there that you're like, shit, I would love to hear you get this artist, nail that artist with, plugins, I will do my best. If it's not something I'm going to be able to pull off, I'm going to tell you guys straight up, I'm not really sure how I would get at that, or I lack this component, or, I lack this. I would love to go get that component. Potentially, it might light a fire under my ass to go and get something that I don't have already. So let me know in those comments, who is someone that you would love to see a tone talk based on an artist or a very specific genre, subgenre, that matter. Let me know. Unearth in the background. Nice. Adam Jones. That is going to involve a couple different plugins. Very interesting idea. I think that is actually not yeah, we did some punk rock tones. We did a whole tone talk on punk rock tones, and I think I hit on some earlier punk rock tones as well as like some earlier and later on. But guess what? You don't have to poke the bear too often for me to do as many tone talks or streams based on punk rock tones as possible, because I love that era of guitar tones. And I think there's a lot to be said for that era, because it was like, especially if you're talking skate punk. I know you're probably talking like Ramones and earlier, like maybe earlier type stuff. Ramones had phenomenal tone. Deftones, not a bad idea. Deftones, from what I understand, for the most part, I think Stephen Carpenter actually used the ADA MP1 for a very long period of time, at least for the first 2 albums, which were my favorite 2 albums. He was using the ADA MP1 through a power amp. I'm not sure which power amp. I think it was a Mesa 6060 or whatever those, 9090 maybe? Can't remember. Look that up just to make sure I'm not completely full of poop. I might be full of poop on that. But from when I saw, definitely at least 2 of the times that I saw Deftones, and I've seen them a bunch of times, as they were very popular when I was living in Montreal, and they circled through a bunch of different times. Not to mention we went out of our way, my roommate was a huge fan. We went out of our way to see Deftones a bunch of different times at festivals, and it was a lot of fun. And I remember at least 2 of those times very, very, if you guys may or may not know, I've been obsessed with the ADA MP1 for a very, very long time, ever since like one of my very first guitar teachers had that unit. So when I saw Deftones, and I saw, if you have ever seen an MP1 and you've ever seen one, go look it up, Google it right now, the ADA MP1. It is a very distinct looking unit, and you can see it from like a country mile away on a stage. A country mile away, you can see those exaggerated, because it's on a black contrast with bright blue buttons and a bright red LED. Is one of those units where you can be like, it's like a dual rectifier. You can see a dual rectifier on a stage from a country fucking mile away. Be like, yeah, that guy's using rectifiers. How could you possibly know that? A friend said to me at a festival once, and I just looked at them and be like, I just fucking know. It's diamond plate. What do you mean diamond plate? It's like, shut up about guitar, like. Yeah. Anyhow, guys, we've been chatting for a while now. It's been a good time. Deftones is sounding pretty good. Yes, it is. Oncoming Storm is a terrific album, and after that, they went. Mike Justine was fucking, man, he was just, that was them at their peak, man, wasn't it? Can we say that? Like that, and maybe the album after that. But after Mike Justine from Jesus, I literally was wearing the t-shirt 2 days ago. A Life Once Lost. Sorry. That dude, when he joined the band, that was just like when Nick Barker joined D-Move. And it was like, this fucking works. This fucking works super good. Please make it work for a long, and then it's done. I hope this lineup stays for a really long, and then it's over. How many times has that happened with really great bands where they had just like a perfect lineup and then like something fell apart? Yeah, he was all VH4, and yes, he was. Super Bads? Super Bass? I was just bugging you, Eddie. Eddie's gonna spike his phone fucking at some point soon. Some 80s shit would be cool. Mick Mars would be rad. You know what? I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. You want the secret? You want a secret to getting a really good Mick Mars tone in the palm, in the comfort of your own home on the plug-in form? Go and get the the Neural DSP Fortin Cali Suite. Fortin Cali Suite, to me, one time I did a Dr. Feelgood cover for just no fucking reason because I wanted to learn the song. I threw it on Facebook, and the tone that I got with Fortin Cali Suite was so fucking close to Mick Mars' tone. So yeah, go and get Fortin Cali Suite and you'll get Motley Crue in a box. And you might be thinking, what? That makes no sense. It's a metal plugin. Yeah, well, Mick Mars has fantastic guitar tone that can be applied to so many different genres, heavy genres. So good. So check that out ASAP. A typo negative. That would basically be a Marshall with a whole bunch of presence and high, and then like throw like a bunch of chorus on it. Like 5 chorus pedals in a row. Just do, 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 do. Set them all on max. I'm just kidding. He's got a lot going on there. Black, black. Love that song. You ever hear like the 900-minute version of that song? That's an exaggeration. There's like a 15-minute version of the Black Number One though. Ridiculous. And it's just like part of it is just like Pete Steele making like sexy noises. I mean, I don't like it when Robert Plant does it because he's sounds like an idiot. But I mean, when Pete Steele makes those sexy noises, you want to turn that volume down and make sure that your missus isn't anywhere near the stereo at all, because my missus, she'll come out of the other room. She's gonna yell at me. She's like, that's not true, but it is true. It's true. She finds him attractive. I know she does. I don't know that there are a lot of metal women, like metalhead women that don't find Peter Steele attractive. I don't know that. I don't think so. I don't think that exists. It'd be a real anomaly. My girlfriend's girlfriend. That's a good. That song fucking rips too. I've always been a big fan. I saw Typo in Montreal, and they came out wearing like blacklight makeup. It was weird. It's like there's like blacklight things on their. There was when they were playing those. They had like black lights, like paint on their guitars and everything, and they had like the whole. They were blending and right into. It was fun. I did not get out of it what my roommate and my date for the evening did get out of that show, though. I wasn't a huge fan, but like I didn't really pass up anything when I was living in Montreal. I didn't pass up anything. Anything we could get free tickets, and my friend would get free tickets for a lot of things because his parents were both lawyers that just had connections to get free tickets for just everything under the sun. And we would just get handed tickets. And we would go see just about everything that was available through. At the time, Ticketmaster wasn't such a terrible thing. Yeah, we could do Typo. I'm gonna have to watch this back to make sure that I get all the stuff written down. You guys give me some good ideas though. Oh no! Oh, the wheels fell. The wheels had to fall off there at some point. It's one band I really want to learn more riffs from. I was somebody out there. I'm going to give you guys. Keep yelling at me to learn more Megadeth. If you're out there and you're watching this stream, the next time you see me, just yell at me to learn more Megadeth. I need to learn more Megadeth riffs for streams. I need to learn more riffage in general. But when I get into a stream, I just think about putting together random riffage with my brain instead of playing over like random covers. Because here's what happens. When I used to try to throw in like popular riffs, there's always like one person that's gonna be like, that's not how you play that riff. Or like, oh, you didn't play that riff so good. Or they're thinking it, right? Like you're out there doing a playthrough. You know, just occasionally I'll throw in a cover riff, but don't judge me too harshly on that. And if you do, well, like once again, like everything else, there is somebody out there playing that song better than I can, and feel free to watch them instead if my guitar prowess is not enough. I can't do the solid downs like I used to. It slows down now. Can't do the man. I would love to have. There's this one dude that I watch on Instagram. I cannot for the life of me remember his name, and he's not a shredder. He's a rhythm guitar player, and his right hand is just like, and it almost looks like his hand. It almost looks sped up, but it's not sped up. And it's all down picking that he plays all these riffs with. He plays like Metallica riffs, no problem. Like it's stuff that's not supposed to be done with down picking, all down picking. The guy is an absolute Hulk, and I wish I could name drop him right now because I don't think he's like super popular out there or anything. It's just fun watching him play stuff like that. He's also got a really nice guitar collection. He's got that Matt Tuck BC Rich. I'm not a big fan of my Bullet for My Valentine, but he came out with this BC Rich V with it was purple, and it was one of the sexiest guitars I've ever seen to this day. And this dude has that guitar, so that's what brought me to him initially. I saw it and, like, you know, I'm scrolling, ooh, that guitar. Then here we were. Yeah, I'm also gonna roll here, guys. Thanks so much for chilling out on a Friday with me. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Thanks for listening to me yap on. Again, so this was Aurora DSP Cerbes. Incredible plugin. We also went over Neural DSP's Nameless Suite, or just Nameless X. Incredible upgrades, some fun things. It's still just as badass and even more badass than it was before. If you guys are not in the know, Neural DSP having a birthday sale today only. If you're watching this after the fact, it's probably over. But if you're right now, if you're, you know, I need some new inspiration, I need some new gear, head over there. Also head over to Aurora DSP to see what they've got going on. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow will be fun. We should have Lucas in here either tomorrow or Sunday. We're also going to be doing a clean break episode at some point so I can get to some Telecasters for once. And so on and so forth. So guys, thank you once again for watching. Thank you for being part of this community. Like and subscribe as always. And if there's something that you guys think we could be doing different, if there's something you'd love to see some content on, whether it be a product or a particular you know, analog manufacturer, whatever it is, let us know, and we would love to be able to put something together. All right, thank you so much. My challenge for you today, as mentioned before, is just gonna be to learn 2 or 3 chicken picking riffs. Grab a guitar, learn 2 or 3 simple chicken picking riffs, and tell me next stream, was it difficult? Was it not difficult? And let's discuss. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.